Have you ever felt like you're being pulled in a million different directions? Like everyone wants a piece of you and you're constantly giving, 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 until there's nothing left. We've all been there. It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of life, trying to please everyone and be everything to everybody. But here's the truth. You deserve to protect your peace, your energy, your spirit. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for yourself is to simply say no. Now, I'm not talking about those rare instances where a friend genuinely needs a helping hand. I'm talking about those people who seem to make a habit of asking for favors, but rarely, if ever, reciprocate. You know the type. They call you at the drop of a hat, needing a ride, a loan, a listening ear, but when you need something in return, crickets. These are the people who drain your energy, who take and take without ever replenishing. They might be friends, colleagues, even family members, and because you care about them, you might feel obligated to say yes, even when it's inconvenient, even when it leaves you feeling resentful. But listen to me, you are not obligated to constantly give to those who only take. It's okay to set boundaries, it's okay to say no. You deserve to be in relationships where there's a healthy give and take, where your generosity is valued and reciprocated. Have you ever had that experience where someone is pushing you to do something you're not comfortable with? Maybe it's a friend who's always pressuring you to go out when you'd rather stay in, or a colleague who's constantly asking you to take on extra work. They might try to guilt you, manipulate you, or make you feel like you're letting them down if you don't give in. These are the people who disregard your boundaries, who don't respect your right to make your own choices. They might not even realize that they're doing it, but regardless of their intent, their actions can leave you feeling resentful, overwhelmed, and even violated. You have the right to say no to anything that doesn't feel right in your gut. Trust your instincts. Don't let anyone pressure you into doing something that compromises your values or your well-being. Your time is precious. It's your most valuable asset. And yet, there are people who seem to think their time is more important than yours. They call you at all hours, expecting you to drop everything and be available. They show up late, reschedule at the last minute, or completely disregard your schedule. These are the people who don't respect your boundaries, who don't value your time, and their actions can leave you feeling frazzled, stressed, and like you're constantly running behind. It's important to remember that your time is your own. You have the right to choose how you spend it and who you spend it with. Don't be afraid to set boundaries. Let people know that your time is valuable and that you expect them to respect it. If they don't, it might be time to reevaluate the relationship. You know those people who just suck the air out of the room? The ones who are always complaining, gossiping, or bringing drama into every situation? They might be friends, family members, or even co-workers, and their negativity can be incredibly draining. Being around these people can leave you feeling exhausted, stressed, and even depressed. They might try to bring you down to their level, criticize your successes, or dismiss your feelings. It's important to remember that you are not responsible for other people's happiness. You cannot fix them, change them, or save them from themselves. Sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is to create distance between yourself and these toxic individuals. This doesn't mean you have to cut them out of your life completely, but it does mean setting boundaries and limiting your exposure to their negativity. There are some people in our lives who, consciously or unconsciously, put a lot on our plate. They might be bosses who overload you with work, family members who rely on you for everything, or friends who constantly need emotional support. And while it's natural to want to help those we care about, it's important to recognize when their expectations become unreasonable. You are not a superhero. You cannot be everything to everyone. And trying to do so will only lead to burnout, resentment, and sacrificing your own well-being. It's okay to say no to additional responsibilities when you're already stretched thin. It's okay to set limits on how much you're willing to give. Remember, you are not responsible for other people's happiness or well-being. You are only responsible for your own. Don't be afraid to prioritize your own needs. Boundaries. They are essential for healthy relationships. They let others know what you will and will not tolerate. And yet, there are some people who seem completely oblivious to boundaries, no matter how clearly you communicate them. These are the people who push your buttons, who invade your personal space, who disregard your feelings. They might make comments that make you uncomfortable, borrow things without asking, or overstep your boundaries in countless other ways. It can be frustrating, even hurtful, when someone repeatedly disrespects your boundaries. But remember, you teach people how to treat you. If someone consistently disregards your boundaries, it's important to have a conversation with them about it. And if they're unwilling to change their behavior, it might be time to distance yourself from them. Learning to say no is one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself. It's about setting healthy boundaries, protecting your time and energy, and prioritizing your own well-being. It's about recognizing that you deserve to be treated with respect and that you are not obligated to say yes to everything and everyone. Remember, saying no is not selfish. It's not about being mean or hurtful. It's about taking care of yourself, both physically and emotionally. It's about creating space in your life for the things that matter most to you. So the next time you're feeling pressured, obligated, or taken advantage of, remember the power of no